Let's take a look at the question here from Ahmad Ibrahim. Factorize completely the cubic polynomial 4x power 3 plus 4x squared plus 15x minus 9. Let me remind you, you are doing a factorization question, not a solving question. Do not write equals to 0. We are not solving for polynomial equation. We are factorizing a polynomial. So how can we do that? So first, let me write down the coefficient. So the first one here is equals to 4. Second one, b equals to 4 again. And the third coefficient, c equals 15. And I write down the constant, negative 9. Let me go to my calculator here. Mode, number 3. Find where's the cubic, number 4. Let me key in the coefficient. 4, 4, 15, negative 9. 4 equals 15 equals negative 9 equals. I'm going to click one more time equals. And I notice my calculator give me one of the root is half. And I realize the next one is something very long with an I there. Okay, we're going to ignore the next two. So I'm going to just use this half by testing in this polynomial. So I'm going to let x equals to half. Let's check this value. When I insert half into the polynomial, I will get my answer as 0. You can test it out, okay? So I will get my answer as 0. It means this is a root, and therefore I can write. So I know if I change it, 2x minus 1 is a factor. If I know x equals to half is a root, 2x minus 1 is a factor. So now I have gotten my first factor. I'm going to show you two methods here. First factor is out. The next step, you can do polynomial equality or method 2, a long division. So let me start with method 1. Method 1, polynomial equality. We're going to use this cubic polynomial equal to the first factor that I've gotten. And I'm going to straight away factorize. So I'm going to take a look at the first one, the first term that's higher power in x, which is 4x power 3. So I'm going to check this is 2x. I will need to multiply by 2x power of 2, this 2, to get 4x power 3. Alright, so this is a quadratic. I'll follow by a term. So I'm going to write down bx first. Alright, so let's check the constant here, negative 9. So negative 1 need to multiply by a positive 9 to get me this constant negative 9. Okay, so I have this is my linear factor. This is my quadratic factor pending for term in x. Now let's check another one. You can check x squared or x, up to you. Let me maybe check the term in x. So I'm going to link this two and these two here. So if I link this one is minus bx. If I link 2x times 9, that's 18x. Alright, so when I check, I'm checking the x term. Let me just pull out only the coefficient. So I have 15 equals to minus b plus 18. So I know that b is equals to 3. Okay, so next step, I'll have, let me write the answer here, okay? So 2x minus 1 multiplied by 2x squared plus 3x plus 9 here. So the front is the cubic polynomial. We have successfully factorized a linear factor and a quadratic factor. Let me show you method 2 first before I continue this part of the question. Method 2, you can use a long division. So what you're going to do, you're going to write down this cubic polynomial divided by this linear factor. This way, 2x minus 1 is a linear factor. You use the cubic, which is 4x power 3 plus 4x squared plus 15x minus 9. Let's do a long division step here. So I need to get for x power 3, I have 2x. So what I'm going to write up here is 2x power 2, okay? So this one multiplied by this 2, I'm going to write my answer here. 2x squared times 2x, that's a 4x cubed. 2x squared times -1 minus 2x squared. So I'm going to write a minus and a bracket. Let's minus and break it down. So it's 4 minus minus 2, that's a 6x squared. And I'm going to copy these two terms down as well. Let's continue. So I need a 6x squared now. I have 2 here. So the next one will be plus 3x, okay? 3x times 2x, 6x squared. 3x times -1 minus 3x. So same thing, I'm going to bring it out again. Put a minus and a bracket. 15 minus minus 3, that's a 18x. And the last one, I need 18. It has 2, so I have to write a plus 9. So 9 times 2x, 18x. 9 times -1, -9. So I have remainder 0. So I have done a long division. So if I divide by a factor, this will be my quadratic factor. My next line will be the same line here where I've written polynomial here. This is a linear factor, quadratic factor. Right, we're not done yet. Let me erase this and show you what to write next. Now that we have successfully factorized out a linear factor with a quadratic factor, we have to see if you can factorize this further. Now you keep testing it, you can't do it. We need to show that we can factorize further by doing discriminant. So let me do it here. So for this one here, we do b squared minus 4ac. Let me check the value over here. So what I've gotten here is -63. Let me write that explanation. Since discriminant is less than 0, no real roots. Now remember, real roots, when I explain, it's going to be always a quadratic equation. So I'm going to write this quadratic. If I equate to 0, I can't find any real roots. Therefore, I can't factorize this any further. So the last answer step, this cubic polynomial, if I factorize completely, so what I can do is only to factorize a linear factor with a quadratic factor. So for this question here, that's all. Please remember, this is your last answer step. Do not write anything after this.